Welcome to Anime Madness Reacts. I am your host, HenDiddy. I am joined today with Skeletony for this week's One Piece chapter reaction. We are covering chapter 1093, Luffy versus Kizaru. Cover page this week is another reader request. Still no update on if we're getting a new cover story or not.
Would like that, but it's okay that we don't have that.
Apologies, I had someone at my door. But yeah, so we have Helmeppo and Kobe getting their eyewear stolen by Tarzier brothers. I'm guessing there's some sort of monkey in the One Piece world.
No, they're actual primates. They got really big eyes.
I don't remember them. Unless they
Uh,
were never really shown.
well, they're real animals, so
Ah. Okay. Well, going into the chapter, we start off with giant Luffy.
he's laughing.
And Kizaru saying this is no good. Well, Luffy starts spinning his arm in a wind up. Kizaru saying, "Let's not get carried away," as Luffy throws him.
Look at him
Oh
fly.
god. Luffy is cracking up. Everyone else is in the dome saying, "Let's make a run for it now," while Luffy's holding off Kizaru. Looks like Atlas is going somewhere. Oh, she's going to take control of the pacifistas. Oh, I think this is where they're
It's
going
a
to find
very
out.
good idea.
But I think this is where they're going to find out Jay Garcia is here.
Absolutely.
Because if you remember the hierarchy for the pacifistas and the seraphims, you have the control chip, admirals, Vegapunk and Stella's, Gorosei at the top.
Yep.
So I think with Atlas going down there, she's going to in turn find out that, hey, Gorosei is here. She's saying that because of the lasers and the barrier. Vegapunk agrees that that's the best idea because there's no higher authority here than Vegapunk. That's Edison saying that actually.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they don't know that the Gorosei is here, and this is I have a feeling this is when they're gonna find out.
Yes.
The main body's saying he'll go with Atlas in a frantic. Usopp's like, what makes you think you're allowed to do that?
Now he's talking to Frankie.
Yeah, it seems like Bonnie is down below. She's alive, glad to hear it. Kizaru kicked her right into the barrier, so I was worried. How does a grown man like you let her get kicked? Oh, Vegapunk coming after Frankie's manhood there.
No, I think it's I don't know. It could be Vegapunk, but it also could be Sanji.
It might be Sanji because
Sanji's speaking.
yeah, we get in the next panel. This is Sanji speaking. So in that one, I mean, we can assume it's Sanji because that's the way he is with women.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we'll truly know who's actually saying it in that panel until it gets animated.
Yeah.
Because it goes from Vegapunk to Frankie to another one, which, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it could be, but it could also be Vegapunk because remember, Bonnie's like a niece to Vegapunk.
Mm-hmm.
So it could 100% be Vegapunk being that mad.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like we wouldn't get the next panel with Sanji saying his sentence if that was Sanji. Especially
That's
as I'm
true.
starting off, this is Sanji speaking.
Yeah.
And he's with Jinbei in Building A, and they were collecting Vegapunk's luggage. Jinbei says it's all there. He'll head towards the rear exit. And now we go down below the Fabosphere. Or below in the Fabosphere. We're not in the Labosphere anymore. Where the Marines are saying to stay away from center of town because they believe Bonnie's there. She's lurking somewhere, just watch out. And we just have baby Marines and old men Marines everywhere.
Mm-hmm. This is hilarious.
But she's out of breath.
Yeah.
But she
Find
realizes
Sentomaru.
Sentomaru. So I feel like Sentomaru has a close connection with Bonnie as well.
Probably.
Because if you remember from Sentomaru's flashback, he's been with Vegapunk longer than Vegapunk's been part of the government.
Yeah. Also, with the next page, it also kind of shows it.
Yeah, so Vegapunk, Sentomaru, Kuma, and Bonnie are all very close.
Yeah.
So it looks like he actually protected her when she fell down. Wasn't expecting that. Kind of disappointed because that we had that whole big chapter with Sentomaru as that was his final
Yeah.
send off. If it
Although
was,
look at him, he is heavy breathing the entire time.
yeah, but it felt like his final send off, and like Kizaru done, it's over with Sentomaru. So in those last panels on the previous page, it kind of felt more.
Wait a minute. No, that's not a flashback. That's not present time. Because she found him burnt to a crisp. But look, we're currently she's getting blown out the top, and then his Sentomaru catches her. But now she's conscious and not at um Sentomaru right there, and then like the very bottom of the page.
Yeah, Sentomaru catching her is when she got kicked out of the Labosphere.
Yeah, so I think when she says she finds Sentomaru all burned to a crisp,
She didn't
that's
necessarily.
after.
Yeah, well, yeah, him on the ground is after. Yeah,
Mhm.
but having him being able to catch her, like get there and catch her, I don't think should have happened. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you look at him, he's literally. I don't think he's moving after that.
He's on his
That's why
last
face
on his
down.
last legs. Yeah,
It's why he's face down in the panel before, because he literally caught her, put her down, and then just fell. That's it.
but I still feel like it's kind of an insult to his send off in his battle against Kizaru.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's because they're so closely together.
I feel
Kind of okay.
I feel the reason Oda did this was for the main simple fact to try to show that Sentomaru was part of that dynamic between Vegapunk and Kuma's family.
I feel like that's out of order. You know, I feel like we should have seen this before
Well,
we
yeah,
saw.
we should have seen something with Sentomaru and Bonnie before Kizaru showed up. That way,
Well, no, I feel like we should have seen before we see like, oh, Bonnie's down there doing all that. We should have seen this flashback of Sentomaru catching her and then move into that, because then it would be like, okay, now we see that happened in the past. It's kind of weird. Like we see on the previous page,
you can see
Sentomaru face down, and then boom, he's standing next page.
Yeah, well, you can see
Kind of
there is some
weird.
shading around the panel boxes, which indicates flashback.
It's slightly darker.
It's slightly darker because it's not that far back. It's like 5 minutes ago.
which is makes no sense as to why I do that. Then just
Yeah.
put them in that order.
I still feel like earlier in this arc there should have been something between Sentomaru and Bonnie to establish like yes, they've had a bond. They had a bond as well, just like Vegapunk and Kuma.
Oh yeah.
And then when it comes to Sentomaru against Kizaru, he has his standoff with Kizaru, and that's that. You know, because it kind of ruins. Like, I mean, when we went over that chapter, we even named the video "The Axe Has Fallen," as in terms of like Sentomaru's done for, and now this is like what? Sentomaru wasn't done for. Now he is after he rushes halfway across the island to catch Bonnie.
If he even halfway across the island, she could have fallen right where they were.
Yeah, there's not really enough context to know where she fell.
It's just weird. It feels out of place.
Yeah. We go back up to the Labosphere though.
Yep.
And Luffy's laughing and asking Zoro if he's fighting and he wants help. Zoro's like, just focus on Kizaru, man. And
We
Zoro's
see
still
Lucci and
battling Lucci.
Zoro pretty out of breath.
This just like a lot of people were concerned, like, is Zoro really strong enough to be the number one combatant behind Luffy?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize, like, during the pre-time skip, Zoro was stronger than Luffy the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Luffy was not the strongest one on the crew all the way through, like, I would say through Marineford. Zoro was stronger than Luffy up until the time skip because Zoro didn't awaken his Conqueror's Haki with Mihawk. It was just armament and observation.
Yeah.
Luffy had his Conqueror, so then Luffy took over as stronger than Zoro. And then you get the Wano. Zoro awakens his Conqueror's Haki, and without Gear 5th Luffy, Zoro would be stronger than Luffy still.
Yeah.
I have a feeling since Luffy's kind of, he says it in Wano when he achieves Gear 5th, this is his peak. I don't see Luffy getting much stronger than his current form.
Probably not.
Zoro, on the other hand, still has more room to grow.
Definitely.
Like, Zoro doesn't even use Advanced Conqueror. He used Advanced Conqueror's Haki out of instinct against King. He can't use it all the time like Luffy can. So once Zoro gets a handle on Advanced Conqueror's Haki, Advanced Armament Haki, and Future Sight, Zoro's going to be stronger than Luffy again.
Mm-hmm. I think what it is he's the one pressuring right now. That's why he's kind of running out of breath. Like, Luffy, of course, Lucci's defending, so he's going to be out of breath, but Zoro is the one pressuring with all three swords.
And you have to realize, like, they haven't had much of a break between getting to the island and their first fight where he was fighting Kaku.
Yeah, like, Zoro's kind of... They're all kind of out of breath, but especially Zoro. So
now,
I give him a pass there.
The only issue I see here is, like, yeah, he's holding his own against Lucci. That proves a lot because Lucci's an awakened Zoan. Luffy handled Lucci in an instant in Gear 5th. Like, Luffy is not out of breath whatsoever.
No.
Like, he took a couple hits from Kizaru. He didn't take a single hit from Lucci. He was goofing off with Lucci, and now he's starting to goof off with Kizaru, but that's after taking several hits from Kizaru.
I just think it's because of the fact that, like, Zoro is not a Devil Fruit user, and Lucci is an awakened Devil Fruit user right in this moment right now.
Not only that, he's an awakened Zoan, and on top of that, a carnivorous Zoan. Which it's been stated that carnivorous Zoans, when they awaken compared to omnivore or herbivore Zoans, like, say, Jack, the Drought, one of Kaido's three main officers, he has a mammoth Zoan. So he's a herbivore Zoan. If in his awakened form would not be as strong as Lucci's. Now, the durability will probably be higher than Lucci's, given the fact that
100%.
it's a mammoth, but the strength, speed, and versatility, all in favor of Lucci.
100%.
And don't get me wrong, Lucci's durability is through the roof, because all Zoans have higher durability when they're in their forms, but when they awaken, it increases that durability even further.
Absolutely. But also, I mean, look at what they say. Zoro says that's the best you can do. You don't got a shot at fighting our captain. And then...
Yeah, Lucci, this is screwed up. Lucci should have never have said any of that because he's already been proved to get his ass handed to him in an instant.
Yeah, he's like, oh, but it's still fighting the second and number 2 to an Emperor of the Sea is still worth killing. But
well,
it's like...
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's still an impressive feat to fight Zoro.
Yeah, but he says he's going to kill Zoro, which is, like, not going to happen.
No. Now we go back to Kizaru.
The fact that Luffy, like, just absolutely stomped him, Zoro's not going to have any trouble.
Well, yeah, like, the only noticeable moment in their fight where Lucci, like, held his ground somewhat was when they had their Conqueror Haki fist clash, and I feel like that was more fan service.
Absolutely.
Who
wouldn't want to see that?
That was fan service for the, like, round 2 of this fight that's been, like, 10, 12 years in the making. When did Water 7? When was Rob Lucci versus Luffy?
It was a long time ago, though. Even in the anime, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, anime. It was still SD in the anime. It was chapter 418.
my
Title was
God.
Luffy versus Rob Lucci. It was released in 2006. It's been
17 years.
17 years in the making for this rematch.
So
So
yeah, 100% fan
that
service.
was 100% fan service just for them fighting each other again after so long. Now, granted, it's only been like 2 years and 3 months in universe because you figured pre-time skip all happened in roughly 3 months. They
Yeah.
had 2 year time skip, and it's been roughly 4 months, I'd say, because it was about a month to get the Wano, because Dressrosa was 1 day. Everything in Dressrosa happened in 1 day. Whole Cake was 3 days. Wano was Luffy was in Wano for 3 weeks because they went to Wano when they were going to Dressrosa, and then you had like, oh, maybe 2 weeks, I'd say. Zoro was there for roughly a month. Zoro, Usopp, Robin, they were there for like a month.
Hmm.
And then they were in Wano for about a month afterwards. So it's been about 2.5 months post time skip. So 2.5 years since Luffy set out on his journey. And 26 years since this story started.
Hmm.
But yeah, we switch back over to Kizaru, who's flying to the ocean. So he uses Sacred Jewel to basically warp back to the island. And he goes right in front of Luffy. And whoa. I didn't know he could do this. Luffy,
Yeah, it's
your
pretty
reaction is
cool.
correct. He has light clones. So Luffy's seen all the light particles, and I'm like, okay, he's just gonna reform his body. And then we get the cartoonish like eyes popping out, tongue out, Luffy, because there's like 20 Kizarus now. Luffy, I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah.
Now he brings out his Amano Murakumo sword, which is his sword of light, and all of his clones are now ganging up on Luffy. And Luffy does Gum Gum Dawn Whip.
Ooh,
Okay, hold up.
new move.
No, it's just Whip,
Well,
but
let me
it's
see
the
like a new
gear
variant of whip.
fifth,
Yeah.
and he's calling it Dawn Whip, which means, does the D stand for Dawn?
Well, isn't like Nika the sun god?
Yeah, Nika's the
Well,
sun god of
sun would
liberation.
have to. Yeah, so sun would make sense with
Luffy
dawn.
doesn't know that though.
It could be like, well because he has that version of the fruit. It could be inherent knowledge.
See, that
Like it
that's
could
the
be like
thing. That is
subconscious.
something that's yet to be confirmed by Oda. How do
Hmm.
people know the names of their fruit after eating them? Like, because if that was the case, Luffy would have known he had the mythical Zoan Sun God Nika when he ate it, not Gum Gum, and he still calls the stuff Gum Gum.
That's what I'm saying. Like it could be a subconscious thing
So,
in Gear Fifth for him to refer to his moves like this.
but that could also be why. Because remember, the Will of D, the D initial started with the original Joy Boy.
Hmm.
We have that confirmed. It started with the original Joy Boy, and from learning from the Reverie about Nefertari D. Lily, it was basically between the Kingdom of Alabasta and the Ancient Kingdom,
Yeah.
and that's when the D started. At basically, pretty much after Joy Boy was executed, type thing, or Joy Boy died. We don't know what happened to Joy Boy yet, the original one. That's where the D line started. So, and that's, you know as well as I know, that's been a question in the community for since we first heard about the Will of D at Shaka's Shack on Sabaody, which was like 2008. But this could be a hint. This could be one of Oda's foreshadows that this is what the Will of D is, Dawn.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'll have to see what Tekken says about it in his review. Why is he saying that was a hollow hollow? Which one's the real one? This isn't
It was
Perona's
probably a
fruit.
clone. Well, he says, well, probably because it was like,
Or no, Perona's was the horror.
yeah. I think it's just because it was one of the clones, so it had no weight behind it. Like he just went right through it, like
But
as if it were
Kizaru's
hollow.
light.
I know, but he's like, it's as if like there was no weight to it, as if it
But
was a hollow object. It went right through it.
yeah, but if you look at Luffy's leg, he doesn't have hockey. There's no hockey activated on his leg. So either way, it's gonna feel like nothing going through the main body. Because Kizaru's a Logia, who also has future sight.
Mm. Could be something to do with the dawn as well.
Because
If you look at
you can clearly see. Well, true. It does seem like Luffy doesn't need to use hockey in Gear 5th. I've noticed.
although
But he
if
did
you go to the
during
next page, you
Kaido's
do clearly
fight.
see it as well.
He did during Kaido's fight with his barrage gun. He used
Hmm.
hockey. He used hockey against Lucci in Gear 5th. So you can clearly see in his Dawn Whip, there's no hockey. Tricked you, Gum Gum. Dawn Stamp. Now there's definitely hockey on his foot.
Yeah.
But it is going straight through Kizaru still, which could be a testament to his future sight.
Yeah.
Because even here, Luffy's like, did I get the real one? Like, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
So it could be his future sight. But then Luffy gets a little freaked out, and, he tricked me.
Eyes nearly reaching Kizaru himself.
But he's got Usopp by the throat. Nami's standing there charging up Zeus. Who's the one behind Kizaru's word bubble? With the that's Brook.
clue.
That's his cane rapier.
Yeah, that's a Brook. Yep.
That's definitely Brook. It looks so weird because he has that helmet on, so you can't really see the frills of his
It's
afro.
his afro. Yeah.
And he's wondering where Vegapunk is. I mean, I guess it's a good thing Vegapunk went with Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
And Sanji's going with him. What's gotten into you? You look crazy. And they're in the Vega tanks.
That was Vegapunk who said it. Look at him talking now.
Yeah. See, I told you it was probably Vegapunk.
Oh, listen. I couldn't really tell. I mean, you can't really tell either because he's getting angry.
But Sanji's speech bubble was kind of what was like. Why would Sanji introduce himself again if he said that? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but also.
Plus, I brought up that Bonnie's like a niece.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if Sanji's angry, he'd exclaim that and be like, "This is Sanji. If she's in trouble, I'll come get her or whatever." Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could have been one of those things like he was just like angrily saying that.
Yeah. But yeah, Vegapunk is pissed off. He says he's gonna save her and he won't leave her behind to die. Luffy again. Oda's just having too much fun with Gear 5th.
Absolutely.
Don't go into the open, he'll kill you. Kizaru's charging up. Where do you think you're going, Vegapunk? And he fires. Luffy gets in the way. And whoa, where does it even... Did it hit Luffy in the eyes? Or...
Yeah.
Luffy's just saying it burns. Now, we've seen Luffy come back from a multitude of things from Kaido in Gear 5th.
Oh, yeah.
Frankie's crapping on too. Lilith used General Frankie to carry the ship. Wow, Frankie's actually giving Lilith the okay to use General Frankie. Which means he definitely rebuilt it since it was destroyed in the fight against Sasakibe.
Mm-hmm.
The coast of A... And now we go to the coast. Alert, Dr. Vegapunk has descended from the Labosphere. Alright, we have Edison deactivating and reactivating the dome. Attention all pacifista. Vegapunk has new orders. Wipe out all Navy sailors.
Oh, and there he is.
On this island. And yep. So, Jay Garcia is going to be coming next chapter. We were both wrong in our predictions. I was expecting to see Kuma.
Well, technically we do as a pacifista right there, but
Oh, damn. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I was
Um,
going to see Kuma as well. But that could be the build-up. It could
it
be
could be.
Garcia and the robot next chapter.
It could be. We might see Kuma come in and save Bonnie
Oh
because
yeah, that would be.
clearly Kuma
Oh,
has. So it was said
that'd
that
be
Kuma has
good.
no more of his memories or his humanity. Why would he be going to Egghead then
Exactly.
when he was ordered to be a slave? Why would he go to Egghead after being on Kamibaka Kingdom?
Hmm.
No, we don't know if he's going to Egghead. It's just
We can
presumed that
assume
he is
so.
because he crashed into the Red Line by flying himself from the Kamibaka Kingdom. He
Hmm.
climbed the Red Line. Before he can hit Paul Travel himself again, he got into a fight with admirals. But once he did, it seemed like he was going towards the paradise, the New World side of the Grand Line.
Yeah.
So I given what's going on with this arc, with it being like when it comes to the supernovas outside of the Straw Hats, it's Bonnie's arc. Like
Hmm.
Dressrosa was Law's arc. Um, Wano was technically Law, Kid, Apu, Drake, and Basil Hawkins, but it was more Apu, Drake, and Basil Hawkins because Law already had his arc. And I have a feeling Kid is still going to be at Elbaf because it's leaked. We don't know if this leak is true, but the next arc is going to be Elbaf. And if that's the case, Law could or Kid could still be there.
Hmm.
But I have a feeling Elbaf is going to be more Usopp's arc than anybody else. Which I was hoping this was going to be more an arc for Frankie because during the time skip, Frankie upgraded himself with Vegapunk's old research. But we're not really getting much of that. So hopefully Vegapunk and Frankie get some time to talk to each other once this is all over. But Jay Garcia Saturn's definitely going to be a problem in the next chapter. With that said, there is no date for the next chapter release. It could be 2 weeks. It could be a surprise chapter next week. It could be longer. I'll have to check Twitter actually to see because there might be something on Twitter.
Yeah.
But right now there is nothing about when the next chapter is coming out. So might not have a video next week. But with all said and done, I hope you liked. If you did like, go ahead and subscribe, leave a like, and comment what you think next chapter is going to be and what you thought of this chapter and what you thought about Sentamaru getting a little more action after he was utterly like basically killed by Kizaru. Um, I think him and Bonnie should have had some time before the invasion, and then after his battle with Kizaru, he was just done. But that's just my opinion. Um, And let me know if you're excited to see if we find out what Jay Garcia Saturn's power is, because all we got was that silhouette during Reverie. With that said, that is chapter 1093 of One Piece Luffy versus Kizaru. Wasn't much of Luffy versus Kizaru, though.
No, not really.
um, I'm excited for the next chapter, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Jay Garcia Saturn being there, I'm 100% excited. Make sure you check out tomorrow's video. It will be in My Hero Academia chapter 401, I believe. And if you weren't there on Sunday, check out Wednesday's video. It'll be best romance comedy anime. And with that, oh, don't forget to check the links in the description. Get yourself some Rogue code -5 at checkout, and join the Discord. Have some fun in the Discord. Now with that, have a good night or
Bye
good day.
bye.
Have a good day.